Silence.
Dana talked recently about the possibility of booking Khabib versus Tony for the 6th time. My question is this: do you suppose we get to actually watch the whole fight before the meteor hits Earth and destroys us all? Or does it happen right after Bruce Buffer announces the fighters, before the fight actually starts?
It's probably like in Rocky. Like, at the end of Rocky 3, when they come out and Apollo Creed and Rocky are going to spar and then the frame freezes right as they land the first punch. It's probably going to be like that with Khabib and Tony.
Yeah. So right as Khabib is about to throw a right hand and en route to a dive for a single leg, and Tony is mid barrel roll, that's when he just
freezes.
Yeah. I think you're probably right about that.
Maybe put him on this Melvin Manhoff, Corey Anderson card, since we'll be watching it by the lights of fires from oil drums by that point.
What up, everybody, and welcome back to yet another Sound of Violence podcast. We are an MMA podcast, what talks about the MMA podcast. You should catch a skip and can't miss each week. I am Pulver, and I'm back yet again with my co-host, Chris Madaffer. How goes it, man?
What's going? How you doing, man? Doing fucking jams over here.
That's right. Oh, God. That was a bad plan. Yeah. Oh, God. This is a great time to throw to me. Yeah, no, I figured I'd do a dab because actually, yeah, it'll come up during the episode. Plus, I did pick up this fucking sweet wave cap, or wave cup bong. I believe it's referred to a dab rig. I believe it's referred to as a 90s cup. But, yeah, the thing is dope. And, the wax I'm smoking, the Alien Labs Field collab, will definitely come up later in the episode. But we are not a weed show. However, we're pretty close to a booze show. So, Chris, you want to start us off with the MMA? Wait, no, not the MMA. If you want to start us off with the... You tell that dab
Vodka
worked.
presents Doug Stanhope presents.
Our sponsors, that'd be the one.
So our unofficial sponsor of right now is a beer from Pizza Port Brewing Company that is called Today's Forecast.
I've been wanting to try that. Pizza Port's come out with a couple new
yeah, it is a West
IPAs.
Coast IPA, so I would describe it with Mosaic, Cashmere, and Azaka hops. It's very good.
Nice.
Very, very good.
Yeah,
Real
Cashmere is one that you don't see around as much anymore.
Nope.
So that's interesting. Hell yeah, man. Well, I am also drinking an IPA this week. I would show you the label, but it's upside down. So, Chris, I bet you can guess who this is.
The Enjoy By?
It is the Halloween Enjoy By from Stone Brewing.
I have that still in my fridge because I drink about one every 5 days because I'm a pussy and I get fucked up.
It's a big beer, I think. It's like 9%, right?
It's like 9.4.
Yeah.
It's a double IPA.
So I have not tried this yet, but I'm excited for it.
I'll say it's very good, and it's kind of boozy at the aftertaste. You'll see, and the reason why is apparently there are about 10 different hops in there.
Whoa, oh, dude, yeah, I ended up hearing that. I heard someone read off a list. It's ridiculous.
I wish I could see you, because I could see your reaction. It almost tastes like liquor. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's an experience.
Dude, you know what that actually reminds me of? It's not far off from Pliny.
Okay.
But like a way like boozy Pliny. Like somewhere, if you were to land somewhere between Pliny and Arrogant Bastard.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's nowhere near the bite of Arrogant Bastard, but it definitely has like some of that booziness. And that hop combo is crazy. It's like three different styles.
It's like 10 different
hops. Yeah, it's like 3 different styles of IPA in one, kind of. It's pretty weird, but it's delicious though. So I am glad I picked up a 6-pack of it. Actually, shouts out to girlfriend Karen who picked it up for me. I do love their fucking cans though this year. I would show you the right way.
Yeah. It's essentially like a pumpkin carving.
Yeah. Here you go. Now I can show you as it drips on me. But they got the upside down cans that they're doing, which is kind of a dumb gimmick, but like you can see how
leave no stone unturned, dude.
It's the easiest marketing gimmick. Like the dude who they just signed on from Palm Wonderful was like, fucking, I got the best idea, bro. You know what they always say about stones?
Coke, you're kind of a psycho, so am I, brother.
That's right, bro. Hey, I know you think you're beer Jesus, even though you got ran out of Berlin after saying you're going to make Berlin understand what beer is.
And even though all the Germans are like, your father was from here, but you're the penis man, bye.
Yeah, not wrong. And also, you went to Stone Berlin, right?
That's literally, I'm quoting, they didn't call him like your father ran out of here, but they called him the penis man.
Did they really?
Swear to God.
That's amazing.
No, okay, they had asked him why. I was like, why is he called that? He's like, I was like, oh, Greg Koch, right? He's like, no, it's Greg Koch. He's the penis man.
Oh, right.
It's like, dude, you work for this guy, but whatever. I'm just gonna laugh with you. So.
I mean, German sense of humor is a very specific brand.
That's great.
Yeah, man, that's hilarious. Well, anyway, this beer is delicious. Also, shouts out to 4 Brewers, so I'm drinking it out of their dope ass cup. But yeah, man, I guess we should get into format. But I'm kind of blown away by this beer.
It's good, but honestly, like I want like half of one.
Yeah, it's crystal clear too.
It's like overpowering. It's good though. It's good beer. Oh, that's what I didn't do. I didn't pour it into a glass. Oh fuck, I gotta do that.
Yeah, I normally avoid doubles or like big IPAs, but man, that's actually really drinkable. Maybe just because it's a million degrees in here. Well, let's see. So I guess we'll go ahead and get into format. But before we do, we'll start with some news. Let me see. Oh God, I don't have my notes up. That was going to get interesting very quickly here. Well, I know the first piece of news is that Listen, the podcast hosted by Mark Goddard,
that's right,
is back this week. I did see that they just put up a new one, as well as Dan Hardy was on it, which is interesting.
Okay.
Because that is a combo of dudes who have been real in the news lately, especially fucking Dan Hardy. I feel like it's been commenting about everything all the time recently, which is, I don't know how I feel about it. But unfortunately, I didn't have.
Fight?
No, he's just talking. Like, he had the fucking blowout with Herb Dean, and then he's been talking about how Izzy was disrespectful for humping Costa, and
he's on that side of the fence.
Exactly, where it's like, bro, maybe don't have hot takes all the time. Not everybody needs to be Brendan Schaub and Chael Sonnen, even though everybody wants to be Brendan Schaub and Chael Sonnen. Did
I send you some of those pictures Darren Till was tweeting out when he was going kind of on a Twitter massacre?
I know we
There was the one where he was styling on Brendan Schaub, and it showed him kissing a werewolf, and it's like when Brendan thinks the werewolf was Joe Rogan's dick.
Yeah, he was going hard at Brendan Schaub there for a couple days, and I was here for it.
Yeah.
Oh God, I still didn't pull my notes up because I forgot what I was doing halfway through that. That dab must have worked. I guess I'll say shouts out to Alien Labs for their live resin, because that was a whole thing. It looks like Chris just dumped his beer.
I have about like 8 mosquito bites, and I want to chop my feet off.
Oh, there you go. Shouts out to living in Southern California, where somehow there's still mosquito problems.
Yeah.
All right, so I finally got my notes up. So, news for this week, we talked about Listen returning. And the other big piece of news that broke right before we started this is actually why we're a couple minutes delayed, is Chris actually doesn't know this yet. Is Fernanda Praches just signed with, or just joined the team over at Fanbite, which is Danielle Rando and all the people over there working on that. They also have the Fan Fight podcast, which you guys have heard us talk about in the past. So I for a long time have been calling for Danielle and Fernanda to do something together. I think I even sent tweets to TJ Santis a while back trying to get that to happen. They're very like-minded, and they're both fucking hilarious and really good on podcasts. Danielle, of course, was with Waypoint with Austin Walker back in the day over at Vice doing their video game stuff. I've always been a big Danielle Rando fan. She also, within the last handful of years, has gotten really deep into jiu-jitsu out in New York. She's also like an EMT and stuff. So, yeah, she's a great writer. I'm a huge Danielle Rando fan. And then to finally have her and Fernanda working together is going to be cool as shit. And Danielle dropped right before the podcast that Fernanda's going to be writing and potting with them. So I am fucking hyped. If you guys don't know, Fernanda Praches had the show Well Listen over on The Athletic, which was our new show of 2019 last year. And, man, the fucking podcast space needs voices like hers and Danielle's, especially in MMA. So I'm fucking so excited, dude.
Nice, that's exciting news. She was way too I know she unfortunately got laid off by The Athletic, but...
Well, it was just like part of like everybody... The Athletic cut
it was their
across the board, It wasn't just MMA.
Yeah. It was just them doing that whole thing. But that's cool that she got another gig going.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we have long said that Fernanda is one of the most talented people in the sport and one of the voices that I would love to see get more airtime because she doesn't just talk about fucking the same shit everybody's talking about, which is, it's wild that, that is so rare.
Many podcasts in the States talk about our government. I'm sure she has a lot to say about how her government is similar to ours. She's unstable.
I was gonna say she may have shit on Bolsonaro and or Trump at one point. I would figure. Which I mean, to be fair, if you're a human, you probably have at this point. Unfortunately, they're both still alive right now.
All I'll say is, let's go 25th Amendment.
I was gonna say, well, no, I'm not gonna cheer for COVID, but.
Oh well, I mean.
Okay, let's keep on moving.
But let's just say let's go 25th Amendment. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what that is, look it up, everyone. You'll agree with me.
Yeah,
all right.
You'll think it's peachy. All right. Let's keep on fucking moving on. Why don't we get into format before we intentionally fucking.
Before we get doxxed by a Russian. All right.
Yeah. Well, that too, or until China comes from us.
China.
I still don't think that's a real thing. Anyway.
It's not. I made it up, but it's also real. That's the answer. All right.
There you go. So on that note, speaking of things we made up that are also real. Oh, no, wait. We already did the booze part. Chris, you want to start us off with the MMA podcast you recommend people catch this week?
Yeah. I will go with the CME live chat.
Shit. That is one of mine as well.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. I like how they talk about the Scorpion Crunch submission, which I've never heard of. And it says it's never used because it's just not effective.
Yep. Well, it's effective against people who don't know how to grapple.
Who don't know how to, who don't know basic jiu-jitsu. They talk about other jiu-jitsu moves that are kind of effective, but they're effective if they're used well, like the Gogo Plata from Nick Diaz against Takanori Gomi. They are all on the what's next matchup for Israel Adesanya. It basically comes down to either he beats up Whitaker again. I'm not trying to diss on Whitaker. Can he beat Adesanya? I don't know. It depends if he has a different game plan. You don't want to definitely rush into his counters.
Yeah, but I mean, Adesanya is starting to make everybody look like that, and that's not a good sign.
But they're mainly hyped for Cannonier, as am I.
Yeah, I mean, except for the part where you look at any of his social media.
I mean, Cannonier is an earthbender, so I think he's okay.
Yeah, but he's also anti-Semitic and a big Q fan.
Oh, wait, no, don't tell me he's with Louis Farrakhan, too.
I don't know for sure, but he has said some super sketchy shit on his social media.
Okay, well, just
it was fun when he just like crystals, but yeah, no, it's...
Text that to me, please. I'm very upset. God,
it's bad.
Damn it.
I believe, actually, if you look at the article on Bloody Elbow from Kareem Zidane about conspiracy theories in MMA, I believe that is one of the big segments.
Wow, that I wish you didn't tell me that, but it's more important to know than that.
You know, it's kind of like that with everyone in this sport, isn't it?
Yep. Okay. Then they say, what do top contenders have to do to actually get punished? They talk about this based on the fact that Ben Sassoli, a UFC heavyweight or light heavyweight, is currently cut after being sentenced to 22 months in prison for breaking.
By the way, he's a full heavyweight. That dude hasn't seen 205 since 6th grade.
Sorry. But basically their point is, oh, well, if you're John Jones, and basically if you're a known fighter, you're good.
Yeah, I mean, you can pull your dick out in foreign countries and nobody cares.
Even Volkan Oezdemir got let off the hook.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that was Florida, though.
Florida's gonna Florida.
Yeah.
They said there's a new Nicolas Cage movie called Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh yeah, there is, Chris, and I've been keeping an eye on this longer than a lot of outlets
Is this
have.
potential commentary? And I think this is something.
Dude, 100%.
G6's
That is 100% a G6 commentary.
glorified return.
G6 or Gilbert would be my other pick.
Okay.
Because Gilbert, of course, is our one friend who's a semi-regular jiu-jitsu practitioner.
Yep.
And also, you guys would know Gilbert from doing the Leslie Smith painting that's behind me. And that we use for a lot of our artwork. So, yeah, it'd be cool.
Either one would be fun.
Yeah, there's actually there's a couple weird movies coming out. I said good, that's not the right word. There's a couple MMA movies.
They're good in a weird way.
Yeah, there's that one. There's the Halle Berry, Valentina Shevchenko one. And then I think today, the movie Cage Fighter drops, which has Gina Gershon and Chuck Liddell, and I forget who else in it. But that's got to be a thing.
Chuck Liddell. All right.
Yeah.
Unless he's doing Blow, which is just, that means he's playing himself.
I mean, he did do that one World War I or World War II movie with Randy Couture.
Don't mention that again. Okay, then he talked about the Adesanya versus Jones Twitter war that's currently going on. Whatever. It's all dumb. They're not going to fight. That's the short answer. I mean, it's clear that Jones is prepping for heavyweights, and the only way Adesanya fights him is he goes to heavyweight, which is not going to happen. So let's just not talk about that.
Yep.
Ben says he's more interested in seeing Jones fight heavyweight. So am I. They said for a certain Patreon for Halloween, let's watch the movie Hereditary with the lights off. Fuck all that. I haven't seen Hereditary. I am the biggest pussy when it comes to straight horror films. The last one I saw, and I couldn't get through it, was... I think it was Midsommar.
Oh, that movie, dude, it's not even scary. It's just uncomfortable.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
I don't like it when they're like cutting the dude's face off and they put on someone else. I was like, the gore doesn't freak me out. It's more like
the tone.
Music.
It's the
tone.
music
and the tone.
Yeah.
I'm just disturbed by that.
The movie intentionally took a very weird tone.
Yeah.
And
because I've seen gory bullshit. Like, I've seen all the Saw movies, but the problem with the Saw movies is, like, I just laugh.
Well,
Maybe
yeah,
I'm
because they're
a fucked
just...
up person. That's probably part of it, too.
Well, the Saw movies are also just, like, pure fucking...
But then they're so obviously fake.
Yeah,
but
and they're like...
The main thing that bugged me in the Midsommar was the dude getting killed by
the way, it's definitely Midsummer.
I
know. I know it's not how it's spelled, but it's definitely Midsummer.
I'm sure. I'm just going with the Scandinavian thing.
That works.
I don't fucking know, dude.
Yeah.
Anyways, the Iron Bowl, the guy getting cooked alive, and you see that, and I was like, no.
By the way, spoilers for this movie.
Okay, someone dies in the Iron Bowl. Not gonna say who, because I can't remember. I was fucked up. But that movie's a good movie. I was just like, I'm good. There's certain horror movies I can watch, but some of the stuff I read about Hereditary, I'm like, yeah, no.
See, I'm definitely gonna watch Hereditary. I watched actually. Girlfriend Karen and I watched.
All I'll say is 2 words. Want me to say?
No, don't, because I want to actually watch it.
Never mind. Yeah, because if I tell you 2 words.
Here, actually, go ahead and say 2 words. I'm gonna take my headphones out. Go ahead.
No. There's no point. All right. So yeah.
See, I have no idea what those words were, but now you guys know.
I didn't say anything. Spoiler.
Yeah, man, it's I'm curious to watch it, but I've heard fucked up things.
All I heard is actress Toni Collette should have gotten an Oscar nomination for.
Oh, dude, Toni Collette's the one who was in Treme, right?
I believe she was in
Redhead.
Treme. She's been in
skinny. That's not who I'm thinking of. That's not at all who I'm thinking of. Oh, Tony was the name of the character in Treme, played by that one older redhead who I love. Toni Collette's totally different. I'm definitely gonna watch it. I actually heard, I think it was Kyle over at the Fight Site was not a fan of Midsommar or Hereditary, so they're both kind of fucking like, I don't know. I don't want to misquote him, but not his thing. And after watching Midsommar, that it feels very intentional in what they did, but it also feels very intentional in what they did, and that like they intentionally made a weirdly toned but also a lot of pretty white people movie that was obviously going to get a lot of people.
Like blonde women. And a bunch of fucking chads.
It's and the dialogue in that movie is like, I don't know. I'm also not the motherfucker with movies. Like no one likes my opinions. I think everything Christopher Nolan's ever made is overrated. So
and like I said, I need to tell it to me. And my opinion on that is my favorite Christopher Nolan movies are The Prestige. Inception's overrated. I will
super overrated.
Die by that. I will. Yeah, that's overrated. Memento's better than that movie. I don't care.
Memento's also overrated.
Dunkirk is actually solid.
Dunkirk's good. But the fucking.
And then as far as the Batman movies,
insert Dan Tom gif about the fucking Dark Knight. Insert Dan. Oh, did he get him to stand on a pile of money that's burning? Oh, that's so creative. Was it a dark, gritty comic book movie? Oh.
Out of that trilogy, Batman Begins is the best Batman film if you're a comic book fan, and The Dark Knight is more like Heat. It's a crime film.
Let's be honest, The Batman Begins isn't the best. The best Batman movie is Batman Forever, and we all know it. God damn it.
Oh, well, that's a hot take for everyone.
I mean, hey, look, I never said I liked good movies. Have you seen the movies?
Is this you, Chris?
Have you seen the MMA?
The Batman. Fucking 6. What was it? 7 parts of The Last Dance, or 6? Like 6 or 7. He's doing whatever he did with Michael Jordan, The Last Dance, he's doing with Tom Brady, which would be pretty cool too.
Oh, nice.
If you're a football fan. But then again, also, you'll probably hate it if you're a fan of a team in the AFC because they destroyed your team all those years. So actually don't watch it. Like, if you're a Chargers fan or former Chargers fan like me, which is smart, then you'll hate it.
Fair.
Or if you're a Colts fan.
Fair. Yeah, but overall, this is a really good episode. It's cool to hear. I always like hearing Dan Tom talk film. I mean, Dan and I have not only very similar taste in film, but we're actually both very big fans of the Film Vault podcast hosted by Anderson Cowan and Ball Bryan. I really
should check that out more, being the film buff that I am.
You would love it. If you're at all into film, anybody out there, I highly recommend it.
Guess which film I watched recently. I did not pay for this. Okay, and I would never pay for this.
Was it? Okay, go ahead.
I'll give you a clue. Premiere access on Disney Plus.
Did you Let's Get Down to Business?
Yep. And unfortunately, they alluded to the song.
I know they didn't do the fucking songs.
They didn't actually sing it. It was just like the score.
Fuck that. That's bullshit.
All I'll say is,
how am I gonna know to be a man if Mulan doesn't sing it?
On a letter grade, a B minus. They basically just added elements of Crouching Tiger.
You gave it a B minus, a man. B minus, a man.
Yeah. They had a lot of cool callbacks to the original film. It was cool. It was stylized, but
without the music, what are we even doing?
What's up?
It's like they're just gonna remake Pocahontas and not talk about the colors of the wind. What the fuck are we doing?
That's my point. It's a B minus because everything about the film was fine except the fact that there's no songs, like no active singing. That's what makes
it's a fucking Disney movie.
Animation, but you could still pull that off in live action.
Motherfuckers have done it since Xenon the sequel.
Yes.
I guess technically the first Xenon even, but yeah, no, it's a Disney movie. If it doesn't have a fucking song in it, then it's not really a Disney movie. At least not an animated one.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It was entertaining.
Yeah. That's cool. Anyway, back to Dan Tom's episode of Protect Your Neck, episode 223. It was just really cool. It was cool to hear Dan, like I said, talk about kind of the more technical aspect of it. He talks about how Dan addresses how it seemed like a blend of genres as far as documentaries go, because it didn't kind of have the one kind of tone. It kind of had different elements from different types of documentaries, and the director actually referenced The Big Short as a big inspiration, which is man, if you want to fucking get my attention as a documentary director, say an inspiration was The Big Short, because that, I don't know if you guys have ever seen The Big Short. It's about kind of the banking crisis and a crazy series of events.
That's the Adam McKay movie, right? They got Oscar nominated.
I believe so.
Yeah, it's with Steve Carell and then fuck.
No, I'm talking. Yeah. It is.
Let me see.
Yeah.
It got nominated for a fuckload of Oscars.
Yeah, it did. It's the
director of Anchorman, Adam McKay.
Yeah, it's Adam McKay. Yep. Yeah, it's Adam McKay with Christian Bale and Steve Carell and Ryan Gosling.
Yes. Yeah, because Christian Bale's fucked up and he plays the drums. He like listens to Pantera or something like that. And,
Yeah. It's real good. So if you're gonna reference that as like a kind of inspiration for an old UFC like documentary, that's man, that is a way to get my attention. And they also talk a lot about how there's a decent amount of early Gracie footage, like pre-UFC, and kind of how a lot of the fans nowadays don't even really know a UFC prior to the Fertittas and Dana. And so I'm really excited to hear it. Also, he did mention multiple times, Art Davie, which if you have Art Davies coming on your documentary, and if you're out there saying you have a UFC 1 documentary and you're talking to Art Davies and not Campbell McLaren, I am way more interested in your documentary. Let me put it that way. So, yeah, man, I'm very excited for this, and we will definitely cover it at some point on the show. But anytime you get Dan talking film, I'm on board. That's why I'm still trying to convince Dan Tom and Zane Simon to kick off a film podcast, because I think it'd be. And
so, remember how we joke about how we should do a commentary or watch a good movie, but the point is we wouldn't be able to. We'd be silent the whole time.
Well, it depends on the good movie. It depends. It also depends on how much we're drinking at the time.
If it was stylized action, but an entertaining film, you could be like, "Oh, cool, sick." But
we've done some okay movies. Didn't we do a Gina Carano movie that was okay? Didn't we do Haywire? Yeah, Haywire's fine. It's not good, but it's fine. So,
and then we've done some stuff that...
Here Comes the Boom is not good, but it's fine.
We've done some stuff that questions reality, like Triple X3.
Oh, dude. How about every Hector Echevarria movie, where I just feel like I'm losing my mind in weird stripper...
The Fast and the Furious 9, they're going to space.
Oh, well, I mean, really... They're just following... I can't wait till they go to the hood. I guess they kind of already have. They're really just following the Leprechaun model, aren't they? They're literally following the Leprechaun model. That's amazing. Also, shouts out to Leprechaun in the Hood, where they figure out how to kill the leprechauns is to get them to smoke 4-leaf clovers. That is a real movie and a real thing that happens. You guys should go watch that, maybe.
I think Jennifer Aniston was in one of those too.
She was in... Was she in the first one? Yeah, she was in the first one. Because I just watched that recently, actually. It's bad. It's fun, but it's bad.
It's an experience.
Yeah, I also just watched on Netflix. What was it? Vampires vs. the Bronx, I think it's called. It's not
okay.
It's not good, but it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah. That reminds me.
It's got some things going for it.
Don't watch Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, because that movie's hot garbage.
Yeah.
All right.
No, instead watch the Abraham Lincoln movie that has Steve McKenna, the drunk, in the background in one of the court scenes. I still don't know how that happened. Anyway, let's see. Chris, do you have any other catches for this week?
Yes, I do. I have here a new podcast. Well, at least for me.
Oh, shit.
That's also a catch. It's called Champ and the Tramp Podcast.
Hey, Frank Yeager's show.
Yep. Episode 46. The guest was Eddie Alvarez.
Yeah, I thought about listening to this, but I didn't have time.
It was solid. I have a couple of notes on here.
Let me guess, his co-host is brutal.
Actually, he really didn't talk too much. Frankie
lucky.
and Eddie just shooting the shit about their first times fighting professionally.
Because you know his
Ring of Combat.
He's
talking about what's up?
His co-host is the dude from Jersey Shore, right?
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
I was looking at
it's the dude from Jersey Shore who has allegedly hit women.
Oh, well, that checks out.
Yeah.
Either way, I wouldn't be able to
Jersey.
tell because I was watching it on my phone and it was kind of scrunched together. And I was like, it's just video, and I would have to zoom in to see who the fuck that moron is. But
right.
Fuck that guy if that's true.
Yeah.
Anyways, Eddie was talking about his first couple fights. There was a snowstorm in Philadelphia. Said he grew up in a neighborhood called Kensington. And he says on Urban Dictionary, people in Philly call Kenzos, basically where he's from. He says you're illiterate and you have no teeth. He says that checks out for himself, clearly. He says if you've seen Rocky, Rocky is from Kensington.
Oh, yeah, I've heard him talk about that.
Yeah. Eddie talked about his first professional loss. He says he took it very terribly because in his mind he was unbeatable. He just had that way overconfidence, I guess, is what you want to call it. Frankie asked him, how is it going on? How is fighting in one going, or how is it not going? And he says currently right now all the American fighters are on ice. They can't travel anywhere. because he said one wants to strictly be in Asia, so he's not really sure about a fight island.
Yeah.
So they're like, "What are you doing in the meantime?" He's like, "Dude, he's doing nonstop weightlifting and boxing." And of course, Frankie goes with the joke, "You like fitness?" He's like, "Excuse me?" He's like, "You want to fitness in your mouth?" And he's like, "Oh, that whole joke." Yeah.
Fucking dude, gotta love Jersey, huh?
Yeah.
Fucking Jesus Christ. They don't disappoint. I'll say it that way. My dad's from Jersey. I know our people.
And then Frankie's like, "Yeah, I've been going to Colombia for stem cell treatment." They're talking about stem cell research and treatment for like back pain, shoulder pains. Talk about other fighters have done stem cell. Eddie says he went over to one because he just had a great deal. He says him and Dana still have a solid relationship, and he is very transparent with Dana about his deal with one. And Dana was like, "All right, man, you got to do what you got to do." I don't know if that's really how it went down, knowing Dana, but...
Well, also, though, you got to realize Eddie was making good money because he came over off that Bellator contract negotiations.
Just like, who else do you think's making good money right now?
Michael motherfucking Chandler. Which is why they're trying to put him into the sub spot for Habib Gaethje, because then they don't have to pay him, but they can basically take it as a as like a free use of his promotion without having to pay him. Because the UFC be clever.
Yep. Eddie says they're training Sean Brady in their camp, and he says he's looking really great. I think that guy's undefeated. Last time I talked about that.
Yeah, he's fucking great, too. I'm so high on Sean Brady. And it just got announced Sean Brady's fighting Bilal Muhammad in what is one of the dopest matchups around, man. Holy shit, that matchup is going to be fire. It's just going to be pressure kickboxing the entire time.
I didn't know Eddie met his wife when they were 15. So, yeah, he's been with her forever.
Eddie!
Yeah, and they asked me, he said, "Why does your wife have high energy?" He's like, "Well, my wife is full Italian." So that explains that. I'm like, that checks out.
Yeah. East Coast Italian. They're a different breed of people.
East Coast Italian, yes. West Coast, everyone's chill as fuck. Well, there is temperament. I will say that.
Yeah.
All I have to do is ask my family. Frankie says it's devastating to lose a fight because you don't plan on losing in your initial mindset mentally when you prepare for a fight. I know some fighters are in a different headspace before they fight. Some fighters get very nervous. Some fighters throw up. Some fighters don't feel anything off. Yes, Justin Gaethje. They feel nothing.
Yeah, but he's one of the 3 fighters that are like that. Everybody else is
like
a
how
mess.
is too. He's probably just like, all right.
I don't. Yeah, maybe just because he's such a fucking hard Russian.
McGregor was kind of nervous in his fight against the if you ask me.
Almost all fighters are nervous in the back. If you hear them on podcasts. Yeah, like Molly McCann talked about it on her podcast
Everyone's
recently.
Nervous. That's
with Leon Edwards. She was talking about it. And even Leon was like, "Molly, I thought you were one of the people who wouldn't get nervous in the back." She's like, "Oh, fuck, Leon, I fucking hate it. I'm fucking dying back there."
People shooting themselves in the foot as far as promoting themselves. Leon Edwards stepped right on.
I mean, to be fair, no one's doing him any favors, but he is also not doing him any favors.
Yeah,
Leon Edwards should be getting title shots. Let's just be real.
I don't have anything against Leon, but it's like, bro, as far as like your self-promotion, you're not doing yourself a favor.
Yeah.
At this point, you should fight Wonder Boy. He's the number 5 guy. If you truly believe in championship material, then dispatch Wonder Boy. But then again, I get it also from his point of view. It doesn't do anything to go down.
Well, and also
he's like what, number 2?
Yeah, if he beats Wonder Boy, he's exactly where he is right now. And also Wonder Boy is not on a great run.
I mean, if you're Leon, you just still wait till the winner of Usman and Burns.
Or you wait till everyone gets COVID and then you step in last minute. That's really probably what you should do.
That Colby and Masvidal are supposed to be fighting as like a co-main event 5 round.
Yeah, they're both in Florida, so they're gonna get the Rona.
Yeah.
Actually, wait. Have one of them already gotten it?
What's up?
Did one of them already get it?
No, not that I recall.
Masvidal didn't yet?
No.
Okay, because everybody at ATT had their own at one point.
I mean, they're both Trumpers, so the fact that Trump is getting all this cabinet.
Well, and actually, they were all them and Kamaru and Justin Gaethje and everybody was at that Trump rally.
Boy.
And Dana, everybody was there. Yeah, so it's fucking half the welterweight division.
Wow, Dana, you're
Rona.
threatening half of the champions, like half of the champions.
Yeah, basically. He's threatening multiple title fights. Which also, didn't Kamaru just drop out with an injury?
Yeah, he says he needs more time, is his quote.
That sounds like...
Which means I'm kind of hurt.
Or
I've got Rona.
Yeah, or that. Or he went to the white people parade and got Rona.
Okay, let's start talking about some more to talk about. I'm not trying to be on a time limit because I don't want to do that, but at the same time...
Oh, yeah. No, Chris has carved pumpkins like an adult later. So.
Yeah, I am very white tonight. I'm pressured by my extra white roommates and brother. It reminds me, if you've ever heard Bill Burr do his stand-up bit about pumpkin carving, it's absolutely fantastic. It's great. Go listen to it. Just please do it.
Yeah.
And you'll appreciate why carving pumpkins is fun, but not when you're told to do it.
Yeah, fucking Billy Bat.
You just don't tell people you're going to do it. Like, now, like, everyone in that room over there is like, when's Chris going to be done? Right?
Also, they act like you have all the knives in your room.
Yeah, it's basically like, I remember, who was it? I think my brother's like, oh, you're doing your fucking podcast, huh? Your fucking podcast, right?
Your brother's been on our fucking podcast.
Like, bro, like, okay.
All right, well, your brother clearly should be smoking more of the weed that he's growing.
Well, he's doing both.
There you go. All right, well, yeah, so the episode of, what was it? Oh, Champ and the Tramp? That sounds really good.
Champ and the Tramp, episode 46.
That sounds really good, dude.
And I listened to maybe about like 35, 40 minutes of it, and I think it's about like an hour and a half long, 90 minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give that a listen because I've been avoiding that show because of his co-host being pretty fucking obnoxious Jersey dude.
And I had actually no idea it was that moron. So now you say that, not because I haven't necessarily avoided it, but the good news is that he barely talked.
Well, and the couple times I've heard fighters on that show, he basically just sits out and like will comment here or there and barely talk.
He was literally just like this the whole time, and he's just like, "Oh, that's interesting," and then like 10 minutes later, "Oh, no way!" And it's just like
that's what I would prefer from him with fighters because then I don't have to talk about him. I can talk about the actual interview.
I've thrown hands before. No, I haven't. What am I talking about?
Yeah. Oh, God. Well, he's throwing hands. Just on women is the problem. Anyway, let's see. So some other shows that were really good this week. Submission Radio had a really good episode with Eugene Behrman talking about Izzy's win and his chest and the Cannonier fight being next. They also dropped in that episode that he's willing to go...
He's saying Cannonier just being next as in, like, fuck Whitaker?
Well, no, that's... I mean, that Izzy said if Cannonier can get past Whitaker, he's next.
Okay. I don't know. I'm not trying to have... I'm not saying he's discrediting Whitaker.
No, I mean, but that's... Everybody's doing that right now, but it's also because I don't think anybody wants to see Whitaker again right now.
I mean, if you ask me right now, money-wise, if you like, or gun to your head, who's winning, I honestly think Jared Kennedy is going to beat Whitaker. I think he knocks him out.
I just don't know what to expect from Whitaker right now.
I mean, I still think he's a top three. But I think those are the... If you ask me right now, who are the top three middleweights, I go Izzy, then probably Cannonier, and then probably Whitaker, and after that, I'd probably say Darren Till or Jack Hermanson.
Yeah, and to be honest, I just don't necessarily know.
Oh wait, I know there's Yoel, but he's going up to 205. Everyone knows that. That's even fucking Uriah Hall was parroting that, and that's why you haven't really heard anything about Yoel, because I really think he's going to 205.
Or because he has the Rona, because he's in Florida.
Oh, God damn it!
That is a real thing. Anybody at ATT or near ATT, you need to really consider. Oh wait, maybe they're all not fighting because they all have Rona.
In Florida,
everyone.
RDA.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Oh, wait, is RDA in Florida? Oh, yeah, he is, right? Because he's at ATT, right?
No, he's still at Kings, right?
I thought...
No, he's in Costa Mesa. Excuse me, he's with Jason Perillo at Business.
Right. You're right.
Excuse me.
You're right. I know he's moved around a little bit, though. But, yeah, you're right. I think he's in Costa Mesa.
My apologies.
With Perillo.
Yeah. That's just bad luck, is what that is. But to be fair, he's also near Huntington Beach. Oh, goddamn.
Yeah, that was kind of the other point. Or Costa Mesa in general.
Vote against Tito Ortiz for your city council.
Well, Costa Mesa is real Newport adjacent, and let me just say, a lot of real uppity white people in that area who are not real fond of listening.
They're God-fearing.
I've dated people who their entire family came from there, and let's just say they were all lily white. Oh God, and they were also not great. I almost made.
What are you doing to yourself, dude? Are you a masochist or some shit? Like,
well, sometimes you date crazy girls because they're hot, and then you realize, oh God, I've gone too deep. What are you gonna do? Actually, that's
never happened to the whole thing about it's all about their personality. But then again, it's like I'm a shallow person though too, so I just learned the hard way. So.
Yeah, well, to be fair, crazy is fun, but crazy is not a lifestyle. Well, anyway, I'm gonna bury myself. My girlfriend Karen here shortly, so we'll just move on. Let's see. The only other things I had on that Submission Radio episode was Izzy did say Izzy does have his heart set on a John Jones fight at some point. Like that, Izzy wants that shit. And if Eugene Berriman's saying that, I think that is very you can take that to heart. And then the other thing is he talks about Shane Young's opponent blowing weight, and they kind of go into that, and he says it's essentially cheating, and we need to stop pretending like it's not when people blow weight. Yeah. He's like, that dude didn't even try to make weight after like he stopped cutting weight at the first opportunity and didn't try. So yeah, definitely interesting for sure. But yeah, fun episode, and I just wish Submission Radio would stop clipping all their interviews and do different episodes and do them all as one episode like they used to. Because the show it's hard to get they used to have such a good flow and a rhythm to that show, and it kind of just ruins that. Because when you have like the repetitious interviews where they'll get on and then Dennis will do his dope ass intro and they'll get into it and then they're like, all right, our next guest, even though they're not recorded on the same day or whatever, but just having like it builds a momentum that really I think adds a lot to that show. And when you're just picking up piecemeal, I wish they would just put them out piecemeal and then do a full episode that you put out also. Like, that'd be cool. But I get it. Yeah. I think if I was to guess, I think it's podcast one stuff, but I don't know. That's just me speculating. Although I have heard some really fucked up things about podcast one and all of that shit lately that I will not get into on air. Chris, did you have any other catches for this week?
Yeah, I'll mention one quick one. Actually, I can't miss, so never mind. So yeah, here's my last catch. It was Believe You Me, episode 263. This one is fucking hilarious.
Really? I didn't catch it this week.
So the first thing they talk about is Darren Till is coming to corner Mike Perry with his big swinging dick. For those who haven't seen the Twitter feud between Till and Perry, it was pretty
They're doing some stuff. They're definitely out here doing stuff on Twitter. They're being real online.
They discussed their most hype fights, mostly talking about Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier, which probably won't happen just because Conor's pissing off Dana. I would love that fight. Like, Jesus Christ, like, sign me the fuck up. That'd be great.
I mean, yeah, except for the part where no one's talking about how Conor's pulling his dick out in public and still fucking...
Oh, I know. It's all a grand illusion, right? It's a farce. It's some sort of just like, look over here, guys. Look at this. Isn't this great? I'll donate $500,000.
Yeah. What's the fucking cup game? We have 3 cups. 3-card money. It's a fucking 3-card money game all the time with Conor McGregor. Where it's just like, hey, whatever you do, don't look at my dick that I'm pulling out. Look over here to this thing about charity about fucking travel safety or whatever.
Over here. Yeah.
Exactly.
Then they talk about Jorge Masvidal versus Kobe Covington. I think the fight does happen at this point because they're both 2 top welterweights, and it's like, well, it's a fun storyline. Well, it's not really fun. It's kind of lame, but whatever.
Yeah.
The part that made this a catch for me is they did some skits where
really
Bisping was
wait.
Sadia,
okay,
and trying to do
some improv
Kiwi accent, yeah.
Okay,
and they had a script written.
They had a script? Who wrote? Hold on. I have so many questions. Who wrote the script?
No idea. They didn't say.
Somebody wrote it. Was it one of them or did somebody send it to him?
I think they wrote it themselves. So listen. So basically, Bisping is pretending he's Adesanya, tweeting trash talk to Jones.
Okay.
And Louis J. Gomez responds to him as Jones, and it's some of the funniest shit I've ever heard because, like, first of all, Bisping's accent is atrocious.
Is it Conor Rebush adjacent?
A little bit. And
he's just constantly alive.
I can't even impersonate what he said because I can't remember, but it's amazing. And then they also continue the skit by Michael Bisping is Wonder Boy. No, he's Leon Edwards because he's like, here's my Birmingham accent. If you've ever seen Peaky Blinders, I'm Leon Edwards. No one wants to fight me, alright? You know, because I'm a fucking bellend. And then he was making fun of Leon Edwards. He's like, you know what, Wonder Boy? You're a nice guy, but fuck you, you cunt. You know, it's just like the way they're kind of going off each other.
Yeah.
It just works because Lewis trying to do any accent just didn't work.
Lewis can't do it. Lewis has one accent and it's yelling. It's his only accent.
This is only like 30 minutes in, and I'm just like, this is fucking hilarious. Yeah. So
that's amazing. I'm gonna have to give that a listen because that's fucking.
So
that's so. That show's been killing it lately. I feel like Lewis is
They've
really...
had some really good streaks of episodes in the past, 2 weeks.
Yeah, I feel like Lewis is really on a stride right now after the Legion of Skanks presidency run that they all did. I feel like Lewis is, really figured out, how to play the... Because he used to just play the heel all the time, and now he's figured out how to play... I feel like he's really starting to get that blend of being, moving a show along, but also dunking on himself hard enough consistently, or at least setting other people up to dunk on him, that he's starting to be, I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just finding him more likable recently, but yeah, that show's been really good. I feel like Bisping's really good.
They commit to that skit for 45 minutes to an hour.
Oh, Jesus, really?
But it's within the first hour.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, I'm definitely going to have to give that a listen, because that sounds super funny. Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. Let's see. I had 2 other catches that I'll get through here quickly. Phil, every time I try and say your name, I have a panic attack because I think it's Phil Lanides, or Phil Lanides, something like that. And Josh Molina from Inside the Hexagon. They did the Strikeforce Playboy Mansion episode. And it's really good. They did a deep dive. They looked at a lot of old articles and kind of news that came out around the event. Stuff like old, what's the name of that old wrestling forum? For something? I thought I wrote it down, but I don't see. Oh, Figure 4. Figure 4 Weekly. They talk about some of the old articles there, which is the website that Dave Meltzer ended up merging with at some point. They talk about all the weird activities that were sold around the event. Evidently there was poker games and wine tastings and shit happening at that same card. Because Chris, we've done the commentary on that a while back, and you can attest how fucking weird that card is. They talk about how Hugh evidently showed up late and left early. He was only there for a little bit of it. They get into everything from Josh Thompson cutting 24 pounds in 24 hours to Rogan being in the audience and no one addressing it. There's a lot of pro wrestling references. And then they talk about Frank Shamrock on commentary, which I forgot about this, but I think we did catch it on air. Frank Shamrock on commentary just says Josh Thompson's the first openly gay fighter and just no-sells that comment. Oh. He's like, oh yeah, Josh Thompson, the first openly gay fighter. Where you're like, why are you talking shit about Josh Thompson, who is 2 weight classes below you, and you guys are not going to fight? So, yeah.
Is that even true?
No, not at all. He's just talking shit, which is
That's a dumb way to talk shit. That's stupid.
Well, I mean, it was 06 or whatever it was, which
that checks out. God damn it.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I made hella terrible jokes back in 06.
No, that's upsetting.
Everybody did. I mean, to be fair, in 06, I was getting called the faggot so goddamn much.
Yeah, that I was saying that word so much.
I was getting called it all the time because I had tight jeans on and shit. Shouts out to being a punk kid in fucking
Dude, I went to a high school where our
mid-2000s.
colors were purple and gold, like the LA Lakers, one of the most popular franchises in history of basketball. It's oh, you like purple? Faggot? It's what?
Yeah.
It's oh yeah, sure. Okay, checks out.
I'm glad we all got past that time in history because it was not fun. But yeah, it's wild as shit that Frank Shamrock just drops that on air. It's such a different time, and it's not like the kind of Tank Abbott shit where Tank Abbott would say that, but also he would sound like you're not sure whether he wants to actually bang the dude or not. that was the specialty of Tank Abbott. You're I think he might have sex with that guy, even though he's calling him gay. It's a weird move. But yeah, it's a wild episode, and I just really liked it. They also talk about how Phil's going to have an interview with Joe Riggs next week, where they discuss it's already recorded, and they discuss the infamous Nick Diaz hospital fight. He's like, I've never had to bleep something so many times in my life. So that is going to be real good next week, I have a feeling. Then my other catch for this week is Heavy Hands, episode 337. I don't have a ton to say about it other than I
listened to that as well.
Yeah,
I didn't write anything.
Yeah, I don't have a ton to say about it other than it's just a really good breakdown of both Sandhagen versus Moraes, which, I mean, I feel like they really went into that fight talking about a lot of the same things I was curious about. But they also brought up some stuff I didn't think about as well. They also talk a little bit about Barboza versus Makwan Amirkhani, and then a lot of time on how Aldana is bringing already got a nomination for the Worst Brain Thinking nominee after last
Yep.
week's performance, where she just decided, well,
Yep.
I'm fighting a southpaw, so no matter what she does, I just have to step to the outside, and we'll just do this forever until I lose.
Yeah, that was not fun to watch. I watched
No.
lengthily. I watched the last two rounds.
Yeah, I
Um,
stopped after, I think, like, right around the third or fourth.
So I do have a can't miss. What I want to do is I want to just mention two quick things.
Well, here, why don't you save the honorable mentions for a second?
Okay,
Do you have a skip this week?
I do not.
Me
Well,
neither.
I mean, I have if I'm honest, anything that Brendan Schaub does, I skip. Anything that Ariel does, I skip.
Yeah, but nothing you listen to that's a skip.
No.
Yeah, oh my God, after last week's episode, yeah. My whole theory with skips right now is I am not trying to make anybody skip unless they're just putting out egregious content. Because, like, everybody could use content right now. And also, this is a pretty light week for podcasts, I think.
Oh,
Like,
it was for sure.
I feel like there was not a ton of content, and I feel like everybody who did put out decent content last week didn't put it about the fights that were happening. They talked about 253, and I feel like this week was kind of a week off for a lot of people. So, yeah, I don't have a skip or anything, but also I feel like there just wasn't a ton of shows that stood out. So let's see. You said you had a can't miss?
Yeah, mine was a new podcast. This Australian guy. It's fucking hilarious. His name is DC, and he says, no, not Daniel Cormier. It's called the I Know Nothing About MMA podcast.
Okay, great name. All right.
First thing he says is, by the way, if you're curious, I also skipped the Home versus Aldana card like everyone else should have.
Professional.
So I thought that was
he knows
hilarious.
nothing about MMA, but already he knows a lot about MMA.
First thing he just asks is, did Izzy go too far with the humping? He says, no. He says, there's a reason why Costa was disgusted. He says, you figured that out. You pieced it together. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah, it's Costa's a homophobe piece of shit.
Yep. He said, Costa took the L terribly.
He also
talks
took
about
the D pretty terribly as well,
Yeah.
I'd like to say.
He says Dana and Connor's fallout is because Connor doesn't want to take fights. And Connor's like, well, how can I fuck with Dana? Let's fight for charity. I'll say this. I am kind of thinking that it's hilarious on Connor's part if he does want to fight. I don't no doubt that he wants to fight Dustin. I'm sure he wants to fight him because he thinks that's a winnable fight on his part. However, he might be slightly surprised.
Also, it's real convenient and helpful that he keeps his name in the news when
Yes,
nothing but bad news comes out.
Yeah. The fact he said, did Connor violate the man code? He's like,
Yeah, when he
like-
raped people?
and he's like, well, what the fuck does that mean coming from someone like Dana's mouth? So that's no and void.
Dude, this guy, for not knowing anything about MMA, sounds like he knows a fuckload about MMA.
They said, how ironic would it be if it took Conor McGregor to start a union? I'm like, God damn it. I don't have an answer to that.
People for a long time have
good
called
the
for that.
sport.
He'll never do it. He doesn't care about anybody but himself.
He didn't get it.
Clearly, by every single part of
And
every action in
doubling
his
down-
life.
Doubling down on that, he goes, Connor is using Dustin as a pawn in his scheme against Dana. I mean, obviously. He's like, do you really think Connor's going to donate that money? Hell no. Then he talks about, when it comes to talking shit, and this has to do with the Adesanya Jones Twitter feud,
Right.
should religion, family, race, or sexuality be left out of pre-fight promotion?
Sure, unless you got a good joke.
So he says pretty much it should be left out. He says Izzy was pretty classless when talking shit about John Jones' mother. I saw that.
It was really
was
well
pretty
written,
mild.
though.
I thought it was pretty mild.
Yeah, it was. I mean, everybody likes to get all sensitive about
Not like
like,
he said,
oh,
John,
don't.
your dead mom's a whore.
Yeah, no. First off, I forgot.
Like, okay, after that, like.
Well, first I forgot John's mom was dead. We can start there, and then second off,
Because not everyone knows that.
right, and
That's
the
not-
way
it's
he
not
wrote it,
wrong.
you wouldn't unless you did.
Yeah.
So yeah.
If you knew that and then you laughed, okay.
Right,
you're an
but
asshole.
but also I should say we both have real dark senses of humor, and we enjoy real fucked
And
up
then,
jokes.
like,
So
if that, like, I'll say this, I don't like John Jones, but I'm not going to talk shit about his fucking dead mom. Like, no, that's
No,
not a human
but-
being. Like, you fucking kidding me?
if you have a good joke about John's dead mom, I'll hear it. I don't know whether it's good or not, but
Sure.
I'll listen to it.
If it's bad, I'm like, okay. You're
If
an
it's bad,
asshole.
it's gonna be bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
but if it's good, it could be good. Doug Stanhope's special is a great example of this exact thing. There are ways to do bad jokes well.
I don't know much else to say, but he goes, Jones is too big of a heavyweight. It's the same bullshit everyone's just talking about. They're not going to fight. He's like, no, there's no fucking way Adesanya Jones will fight. I agree. Then he also talks about, okay, Khabib, future matchups with Gaethje and beyond, right? Ferguson, Tony Ferguson, he's supposed to fight Khabib next. Well, assuming Khabib wins.
Right.
All fighters who have fought Khabib have not been able to get up after being taken down. You think you're good at wrestling until Khabib takes you down. How is this going to work differently for Justin Gaethje? He believes that Tony Ferguson still presents the biggest problems and stylistic matchup nightmare for Khabib.
I think he's out of his fucking mind.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think Khabib beats everyone.
I think Justin Gaethje has the realest shot. Justin Gaethje is the dude. If there is, I think I've been saying this for a while. Just his counter wrestling and his pressure game is going to make it real interesting.
I think Khabib can go up to welterweight and beat like half this motherfucker. I'm not even kidding.
Well, no, I agree with that too. But also, the amount of high level wrestlers. I mean, like I think Khabib does not bad against Stephen Thompson. How about that?
Whoa, Dozer. Sorry. Barking. I wouldn't take Khabib. Jesus. I wouldn't take Khabib against Kamaru Usman necessarily, but I definitely think that fight's competitive in a grappling standpoint.
Yeah, I just think this. I think the size difference on that.
Oh
one
no,
is
that's
gonna
what
be
I'm
tough.
saying. Like,
And Kamaru is better striking, I think. But yeah, it'd still be fun as hell. Would I like to watch Khabib and Colby fight? Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be an awesome fight. I think he might, but it'd be competitive as shit, dude.
Oh no, it'd be close. It would be one of Khabib's biggest tests. Colby's a motherfucker. Like, he's a great fighter.
God, actually, I just thought about what the lead up would sound like to that fight.
God.
I don't want any of
you're
that.
ISIS, bro.
No, worse than that. It's Russia. It's just gonna be Russia shit the entire
You're
time.
a commie.
Yeah.
Oh god.
It's gonna be bad.
Then he talks about Leon Edwards. You look like a he didn't say this, but you look like a Dawser right now. He's Australian, so he didn't say Dawson.
Yeah. I got you.
You look like a cat.
He didn't call him a Ponce, but we got it.
You look like a shit cunt.
Yeah.
He said Leon Edwards is looking like the biggest fucking moron right now. He says you have to fight Wonder Boy. He didn't have to. Because he's basically saying, well, you look at the top of the line of the welterweights. Usman's fighting Burns. Colby is allegedly fighting Masvidal. Who the fuck is number 4? I couldn't tell you. Is it Leon? I guess it's Leon.
No, Leon's... I thought... Oh, yeah, Leon must be 4 because 5 is Wonder Boy, right?
Wonder Boy's 5.
Yeah.
Like, I mean...
No, I don't know. Who the fuck cares about those rankings anyway?
Yeah.
Trash-ass rankings. Anyway.
Okay,
Yeah, it sounds like a really good episode, though, dude.
Yeah, it was solid.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Well,
and he said Jones and Izzy will be rivals until they actually fight each other and they shake hands like, I love you. It's like, well, yeah, that's easy how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he said Wonder Boy's reasoning is he'd rather fight Edwards now because Edwards is ranked higher above him. It's like, no shit. That's why Edwards is calling him out.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's why Wonder Boy is calling Edwards, excuse me.
Yep.
So, that is all I have. The only thing... I'll have a mention about that.
We'll get your mention in a second. My big can't miss for this week is the co-main event Power Hour rewatch for Elite XC Heat. They did essentially a rewatch for the old Elite XC Heat card, which is on Fight Pass. It's like an hour and 10 minutes or something like that, and this is just a whole lot of fun. It's just them hanging out watching the card, and I love when they do these. It's some of my favorite content. I love when everybody does commentaries for old fight cards. Like, that's why we do it, because I like listening to that shit. It's why I love, or not even commentaries, but like that, of course, we've talked about in the past, one of my favorite fucking MMA podcasts of all goddamn time that doesn't exist anymore was Collapsed MMA with TJ Sanchez and Jordan Breen, where they would watch a card and do a Lapsed fan style deep dive on it, on like the fucking K1 Dynamite 2000 show or whatever. And oh my god, it's just my favorite shit. I love when people go back and watch these old cards, because honestly, a lot of times it's more fun than like a lot of it's just piecemeal day-to-day bullshit that the UFC is putting out, or Bellator for that matter. Like some of these not even the Euro series is actually legit, but some of these European cards that are not part of the Euro series are like, yeah, there is some interesting stuff, and then there's a lot of other stuff on those cards. So it's really cool when people go and do these rewatches. Of course, if you guys don't know, Elite XC Heat is the infamous Kimbo versus Shamrock card, where Shamrock gets a cut right before the fight starts, or they announce it hours before the main event, and then oh my god, I keep trying to call him Kurt Pellegrino, but I know that's wrong. What the fuck is dude's name? Seth Petrozelli stepped in last minute and fought Kimbo, and that went, well, it ended Elite XC, we'll put it that way. But it's just a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool old IFL stories about seeing drunk Benji Raddick and his drunk porn star-looking girlfriend. You see some Esther Lynn cage side stuff. Gina Carano fights Kelly Colbo on this card. Big Country fights Andrei Arlovsky. Benji Raddick and Ninja Hua have a fucking insane fight where they give multiple knockdowns at the same time. Like, there was 2 double knockdowns in that fight. It's fucking ridiculous. And then also, you can see on the canvas, I didn't remember this about Elite XC, but it makes so much sense in retrospect. There's fucking GameSpot ads everywhere on the canvas and video game ads everywhere. I was like, why the fuck is there GameSpot ads? Then I remember GameSpot is, of course, part of the CBS Interactive family of content. And so, as a result, essentially, if GameSpot advertises on CBS, it's just, they're not paying themselves. It's free advertising for themselves. And I guarantee you GameSpot already has deals in place with the video game companies like Red Alert 3 that was on the cage, or some of those. So really, CBS is just making money on top of money for doing ads they already have rights for, and then just basically being like, you want to pay us more to be on TV? So it makes sense in retrospect, because of course GameSpot is still part of CBS. Giant Bomb, I don't know if I wonder if GameSpot was part of the big merger that just happened, because Giant Bomb used to be part of CBS.
Sure they were.
Yeah, because Giant Bomb used to be part of CBS Interactive, and they just got bought out by that essentially some of those companies like GameSpot and I think GameSpot, definitely Giant Bomb, got bought out by another company, and they're gonna be moving over there, which who knows what that's gonna mean. But anyway, shout out to all that. But yeah, it's just a really fun card to listen to, so highly recommend it. Let's see, you said you had an honorable mention, right?
Yeah. Fights gone by, 235.
Yeah, 235 and 236 were good.
Yeah, they talk about do Fight Pass subscribers even use their...
Or sorry, 234 and 235.
They said do Fight Pass subscribers even use their subscription?
This was his big Q&A episode, right?
Kind of.
Yeah, I think it was like a
I
listener.
have so many notes on this.
Yeah, I think it was a big listener mail episode, essentially, where like he talks about stuff like it's a big Q&A app. He talks about everybody sleeping on Sandhagen versus Moraes, and evidently people just don't care about Cory Sandhagen, which is crazy to me. But Jack Slack said he's consistently his lowest viewed videos, which is weird because Cory Sandhagen is nothing but action, so pretty crazy. But yeah, it was a fun Q&A for sure.
Yeah, he basically previews that fight, which I won't go into too much detail. I'll go into our preview in just a little bit. But then the one thing I thought that was interesting is he says Michael Venom Page is fighting Ross Houston, who is not a bin or can.
Yep.
Which I thought was great.
Yeah, that's very, very Jack Slack.
I just thought he was like, he's fighting Ross Houston, who's not a bin. And I was like, okay, that checks out.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. Ross Houston had that fucking war with Nicholas Dalby recently, I believe.
Yep.
With the bloodiest fight of all fucking time.
And remember, Nicholas Dalby fought Darren Till to a draw.
Yeah, well, and the Nicholas Dalby Ross Houston fight, if I remember right, was the one where Mark Goddard, during the fight, literally calls time and says, "This is fucking ridiculous," because no one can stand it. I believe that fight was literally waved off due to unable to fight due to slippery surface from blood. So, pretty ridiculous. Let's see. So, it's my honorable mentions. I got co-main event, episode 422. They talk about Esther Lynn leaving MMA Media, all the Mike Perry corner craziness, and the capital letters weird beef between Izzy and John Jones. Care Don't Care for UFC Fight Island 4 was a lot of fun. The John Nash versus Eugene and Steffi dynamic is funny every goddamn time. Tinger Dome episode 3 was really good. Iggy did a listener mailbag episode that I enjoyed. Talks about some cool stuff about kind of his heritage and his area that I need to learn more about. So, shouts out to that. Speaking of shouts out, Shots Fired, episode 9 was really good. Michael and Kairos hosted solo this week. And they do a lot of talking about Leon Edwards and him saying he doesn't want to fight. Kairos asked whether...
I don't want to fucking fight, bro.
Yeah, Kairos points out that it seems like every time John Jones seeing another black fighter getting attention, he gets real mad and online. which was...
Maybe that's a real thing.
I mean... He cited some real ass examples that I was like, that's actually not a bad argument. I mean, you could say that was the entire problem he had with Rampage Jackson and with fucking Rashad Evans.
Yeah. No, not Rumble. Yeah, Rashad. Excuse me.
Yeah. So it's pretty interesting. Also, there's some fun British slang in that episode that I definitely recommend, which is hilarious. And there's an interview with MVP that Michael did. So. Definitely worth a listen. Extra Rounds, TJ DeSantis' show that's on UFC Fight Pass. Sorry, not you. I don't know if it's on Fight Pass. It's on the UFC Facebook page, I believe. Or the Fight Pass Facebook page. Something like that. We'll have a link in the description. Or if you go to sovpod.com or thesoundofbalance.com, there's a link in the show notes there as well. But yeah, TJ's been doing these shows, and they're a lot of fun. He did the recap for Holm vs. Aldana. It was Pearl Gonzalez and Dean Thomas. I think it was Dean Thomas and Pearl Gonzalez. I know, yeah, no, it was Ray Longo and Pro Gonzalez. That's who it was. And then Lex McMahon also called in to talk about hosting LFA events during COVID, and then, Titan events during COVID. And I was actually going to fight on on a Titan card here coming up, which is pretty crazy. Severe May episode 282 was really solid. Shawnee podcast, hold it down, and talking about how everyone should maybe be less on social media, which man, hard to argue with. Also, his Q&A was really good. Talked about Fights Gone By, 234 and 235. The Writer and the Fighter, episode 78, was solid. Jake's recording live from his bed. And David had a crazy sweatshirt story. And then they had talked UFC 253 and some other stuff. And, the 6-round post-fight show for UFC Fight Island 4 with Mookie and... Oh, fuck. I can't remember the dude who did it with Mookie. Because it's not... Since Zane Simon took the week off this week. For that card, which don't blame him. That was probably the right move. Mookie Alexander and Dane Fox was the other host. So shouts out to that as well. So yeah, that was my honorable mentions. Chris, do you have any well-rounded stuff you want to shout out before we get to this second segment?
I would say baseball podcast, but my Padres finally got eliminated. They almost won an exciting game too. They actually had the stupid Los Angeles Dodgers on the ropes. Couldn't get it done.
It's so unlike San Diego sports teams.
Well, I'll say this. The twist on that, because there's a twist this time, is that they're a solid young team, except that the injury bug hit them, so it's still San Diego sports. It's like, hey, this is the best team you've had in a long time. Let's just have your two best pitchers be hurt, right?
Yeah,
so
that checks out.
But it's also the fact that the Dodgers, who were also very good last year, decided to add the second best player in baseball. So it's one of those things where it's like, how do I say it? I would put it as this: John Jones joining ATT.
Oh shit!
I would like that's how good the Dodgers are. If I'm honest,
yeah.
It's just like basically the Padres are. What's the next best gym besides ATT? If John
like a city kickboxing or like
yes, it's basically if the Padres are the young and exciting Adesanya and they're going up against John Jones and John Jones absolutely shit kicks Adesanya in their fight. And
well, actually, it sounds like the right analogy is probably Adesanya and Costa.
Yes, the Padres are Costa, the young undefeated guy. They haven't been good, and he has unheard of. And then he goes up against the young veteran star in Adesanya, and it is what it is. And my brother's texting me, "Where the fuck are you?" It's like, dude, I told you I'd be ready at 7:30, so chill out. Yeah.
Well, your brother can definitely smoke some more weed and chill for 20 minutes, I'm sure.
I'm gonna tell him right now. But as far as
or worst case, we'll just get him on to carve pumpkins behind you and look angry.
yeah, as far as well-rounded goes, Rocket League is fun. I never play that game.
Oh yeah, yeah. You've been playing a lot of that, right?
Yeah, I've only played. I think it says about 2 hours, and when it comes to playing in unranked lobbies, I feel like a god. And then when I play with my homie who's good at the game, I'm just like, okay, this is humbling, but it's still fun.
Yeah, I love that shit. I still be driving a DeLorean around, still not able to do aerials correctly, and I've been playing that game for fucking ever. So, oh yeah, man, Rocket League's dope. Let's see some well-rounded stuff from me real quick. Pod Gods, episode 356. This is my buddy Gio and Lax Dude. I love those guys. I've been talking to Gio a lot lately. He's a great dude. Actually, if you guys listen to the Sixth and Jump podcast, he is the Giovanni that wrote them in and hooked them up with someone. He passed along some information about a certain German DVD set of 21 Jump Street that you can find. Which, yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I know a guy who knows a guy. If anybody, I don't know. Anyway, let's see. The CME Movie Club for the movie Seven was really good. I fucking loved it. I mean, they always have really good discussions on films, and they're like, I don't know. They sound like a college lecture or a college like panel discussion on a movie. A lot of times, you know what I mean. Well, a lot of times we're talking about like you know, not just metaphors, but like plots and where the writers are coming from and things that stand out, and like for example, Morgan Freeman's butterfly knife. That was like a constant theme throughout the movie, even though, and was that theme really in the end just so he could open the box?
Yep.
And yeah, it's interesting. I liked it a lot. I definitely recommend it. Cook Serve Delicious, the video game, number 2 has been out, and number 3 comes out, I think, this week. It's awesome. Think if you guys ever played Typing of the Dead or any of those like kind of like typing games, but they're like typing games in that you're essentially like doing combinations of keys. I mean, they have it for PlayStation and Xbox and stuff too, but it's really made to be played on mouse and keyboard. But man, it's so fucking good. I guess I should explain what it is. It's essentially a cooking game, but you're doing like you're taking orders. You go up basically, I believe 3. You're in a food truck and you're traveling across the country. It's very silly, but it's like it's one of those games that's super relaxing for me. So shouts out to that. Speaking of things that are not relaxing, I have not yet watched the Ronda Rousey episode of Hot Ones, but it's on my list. I can't. Ronda Rousey doesn't take L's really well, and I don't think she handles spice well enough to get through that. So I'm curious to see how that goes.
She is pretty white.
Yeah, she is gonna. I have a feeling her team might wave this one off early, or maybe Sean Evans, or her fucking publicist in the corner, whoever. And then lastly, my clip that we have coming up is going to be about Alien Labs. It is a clip of Tim. Oh fuck, what's Tim's last name? I just did this exact Tim Liddy of Alien Labs. Here, and he talks about kind of getting a lot of inspiration from both Alien Workshop, the old skate brand, as well as getting inspiration from kind of like anime culture, like Naruto, and he actually shouts out a certain middleweight fighter. So, shouts out to that, and in the meantime, I'm going to go smoke a dab, and we'll be back to talk about this. So, yeah, I'm going to smoke some of this Sherbasio live resin, and Chris, we will be back to talk about this card very briefly, right?
Yes, we will.
All right, well, on that note, I'll be dabbing, and y'all be listening. We'll be right back.
Liked by the sound of violence.
Actually, my old weird friend that got me into weed. He was the one that he's the one that fucking put me on the anime too. He's like, yo, we should go to Blockbuster and like rent this movie I've seen.
Dude be into anime.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, he was a total basement dweller.
I really
So, you know, we were influenced by that. Video games, you know, which that is what is an influence to the Japanese. That I think video games is like a gateway drug to Japanese culture.
Sure.
You know, because
Favorite games growing up? I'm just curious.
Mario Kart, I love Street Fighter, Chrono Trigger. I was into like different like weird stuff. Like right now, I play this game called Teamfight Tactics. It's like auto chess, which is like so nerdy, but you just like fucking build your armies, and like it'll give you a choice of 5, and you like click on them, and you try and make like a sick army, and then they just fight each other. You don't even do anything. It's like a total stoner game. I just sit there and take dabs and like
You
fucking
spend 10
watch
minutes
this.
setting it up, and you
Yeah.
get like 10 seconds of watching it all play
Yeah,
out.
for sure.
I've done this before.
So I get
Lost
into the woods
myself.
with the nerd shit, and that just lends itself to what it is, and it lends itself to like what I call like outcast culture. You know, you see actually anime getting popular now.
Definitely,
Super
yeah.
popular. You got fighters, UFC fighters like Israel Adesanya. He straight up does like he has a Naruto tattoo on his chest, and he does like total anime moves.
I have
and
no idea what Naruto is, but
Naruto's sick. It's a fucking
I've
ninja
seen
epic.
a
One of the
million memes
one of the
about it.
best.
It's
It's one of the
popular
best
now.
for sure. Naruto
Okay,
rules.
all right, I mean,
Shout
I
out to
gotta check
Naruto.
it.
by the sound of violence.
Dana talked recently about the possibility of booking Khabib versus Tony for the 6th time. My question is this: do you suppose we get to actually watch the whole fight before the meteor hits Earth and destroys us all? Or does it happen right after Bruce Buffer announces the fighters before the fight actually starts?
It's probably like in Rocky. Like, at the end of Rocky 3, when they come out and Apollo Creed and Rocky are going to spar and then the frame freezes right as they land the first punch. It's probably going to be like that with Khabib and Tony.
Yeah, so right as Khabib is about to throw a right hand and en route to a dive for a single leg, and Tony is mid barrel roll, that's when he just
freezes.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that.
Maybe put him on this Melvin Manhoff, Corey Anderson card, since we'll be watching it by the lights of fires from oil drums by that point.
Liked by the sound of violence.
My old weird friend that got me into weed. He was the one that he's the one that fucking put me on the anime too. He's like, yo, we should go to Blockbuster and rent this movie I've seen.
Dude be into anime.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, he was a total basement dweller. So, we were influenced by that. Video games, which that is what is an influence to the Japanese. That I think video games is like a gateway drug to Japanese culture.
Sure.
Because
Favorite games growing up? I'm just curious.
Mario Kart, I love Street Fighter, Chrono Trigger. I was into different weird stuff. Like right now, I play this game called Teamfight Tactics. It's like auto chess, which is so nerdy, but you just fucking build your armies, and it'll give you a choice of 5, and you click on them, and you try and make a sick army, and then they just fight each other. You don't even do anything. It's like a total stoner game. I just sit there and take dabs and
like this. You spend 10 minutes setting it up, and
yeah,
you get 10 seconds of watching it all play out.
For sure.
I've done this before.
So I get into the woods with the nerd shit, and that just lends itself to what it is, and it lends itself to what I call outcast culture. You see actually anime getting popular now. Super popular. You got fighters, UFC fighters like Israel Adesanya. He straight up does he has a Naruto tattoo on his chest, and he does total anime moves.
I have no idea what Naruto is, but
Naruto's sick. It's a fucking ninja epic.
One of the
best. It's one of the best for sure. Naruto rules.
All right,
Shout out to Naruto.
Alright, everyone, we're back.
Yeah, we are.
We're back to briefly preview UFC Fight Night Moraes versus Sandhagen, also known as UFC Fight Island. Who the fuck knows? It's just another Fight Island card. Anyways,
Don't call that shit Fight Island. It's not an island, and it's Abu Dhabi. And it's getting paid for by Abu Dhabi, which is why you have to hear the name Abu Dhabi all the time.
yeah, UFC Ferrari Island something.
Also, shouts out to the Alien Labs clip we just played, and the Alien Labs wax, or live resin, I should say, that I'm dabbing. It's fucking delicious, and shouts out to Sherbasio, which I believe is a cross of sherbet and Basio cookies or something like that.
Something like that. Anyways, let's get into this shit. We have a men's flyweight bout.
Oh yeah, we should say this is gonna be a very quick breakdown because Chris asked me carving pumpkins like we talked about.
Yeah,
So,
I'm super white. Everyone's all like texting me like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like,
I wouldn't even say you're super white. I would say you are. You know what? Let's just keep moving.
I'm just being submissive, I guess, to all my roommates.
Yeah. To your wildin' ass roommates, who, by the way,
Because I guarantee you, they said at 7:30, my brother's like, "Dude, we're gonna knock on your door and disrupt your podcast." I'm like, "You can. That's in 9 minutes." So, anyways,
that'll be interesting. Look forward to that right around the third fight in.
Yeah. First fight of the night is a flyweight bout between Russian fighter Tagir Ulanbekov.
Sure, keep trying.
Brazilian fighter Bruno Silva, who's with the Captain America weirdo guy, Eric Albar-Serene.
You mean the least likable coach in the sport outside of the ones who are actively stealing from or raping people?
Yeah, I mean, but then remember, just according to Adesanya, he came all over Eric Albar-Serene.
He sure did.
And his
I'm
black
here for
belt is his cock. That checks out.
Fucking the best.
I don't know who to take in this, but lately the Captain America mofo, who's not Captain America at all, midget Captain America, has not been looking good.
Whoa, you can't use that word. You mean little person Captain America.
Excuse me.
I don't think that's
tiny
more
Captain
appropriate.
America. Yeah, I got the Russian dude by decision.
Yeah, I've heard really good shit about Tagir. I'm not gonna lie, like I've actually watched any footage on this card because it's. I don't know if you guys have seen these prelims, but I have.
You're like, actually.
Yeah, I just did the math.
Wow! I just saw the odds.
I just did the math on Tagir. Fucking. I've heard enough people say good shit about Tagir this week that I'm interested. But Bruno Silva's. Yeah, he's had a tough run in the UFC, to be fair.
Just all the odds brought to you by Seamus, of course. We got Tagir at a minus 456 to a plus 389.
Yeah, it's about what I expected. I mean, I guess, you know what? Fuck picking methods since neither one of us have seen half these fighters.
Tonight.
Well, dude, literally most of these fighters either haven't fought in the UFC or they've had one fight, and it's within the last 6 months. It's kind of crazy.
Speaking of the next fight, this is a fight between two very marketable fighters, very marketable women. I say that in the most respectful way possible. We have American fighter Tracy Cortez going up against Swiss fighter Stephanie Egger, not Edgar. Egger.
I'm sorry, you said the same thing 3 times?
Egger.
Not what?
Not Edgar, but
okay. I thought you said not Egger, but Egger.
Just to be clear.
Okay, I got you.
Tracy Cortez, last time we saw her, well, she's almost undefeated. At least in the UFC she is. She's only one fight. It doesn't matter. She's back. She's badass. She's fighting a chick who's probably a lot bigger than her. Let's see, 5'5" versus 5'8". Okay. Stephanie, this is her UFC debut. Tracy Cortez, I believe, is a
Oh shit! She fought King Reina. Oh, I am on board now. I forgot she fought. That's where I know her name. It's because she fought King Reina back in Ryzen. My favorite fighter of all goddamn. Where's my King Reina gif? Where's my fucking King Reina? I don't know where.
Maybe I'll go with the Swiss fighter.
No, don't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, she beat King Reina, but also King Reina is. If you can avoid it, no. Well, she's not. But if you can avoid a right hand or wrestle, it makes King Reina real tough to lose to. But Tracy Cortez is gonna fuck her up. Let's be real.
All right, Tracy Cortez by decision is the call. The odds brought to you by Seamus. Cortez is a minus 190 to plus 150.
Yeah, I would honestly not be surprised to see a TKO or sub. TKO via ground and pounder sub. Because Cortez, I think Cortez has a way stronger game all around than Egger does.
Next up is a men's featherweight bout between Giga Chikadze, a fighter from Georgia, not the state, the country, for all you dumb Americans out there.
That's right.
Kickboxer. Going up against Venezuelan Omar Morales, who is 10-0. Nice. Giga Chikadze, last time we saw him, he won a decision over Erwin Rivera.
Did Giga recently get COVID?
I couldn't tell you because I have no idea, actually.
I thought he did. Let me Google this. Because he trains at the same gym. Yep. He withdrew from UFC Vegas 8 due to COVID. And you know what gym he trains out of?
Couldn't tell you.
This is how contact tracing works, Chris. He trains out of King's MMA.
So don't tell that to Trump because he doesn't believe in contact tracing. That's beside the point.
Definitely somebody should have told it to RDA a couple weeks ago, though.
All right, well, I don't know who the fuck to choose, but I think I'm going to go with the guy who didn't get COVID because maybe his system's not compromised. So I'm going to go with Omar Morales.
See, joke's on you. The other guy is out of Hard Knocks 365 in Florida, so I am going with Giga Chikadze via knockout. But no, you're probably right. He's probably going to win just by being able to outgrapple.
I'm going with Omar via COVID knockout.
Actually,
All
wait,
right.
hold on. Dude beat Gabriel Benitez in his last fight.
Mowgli's tough.
And Mowgli is a great grappler, so actually,
the odds
I'm going to go with
actually,
you.
like-
I'm going to go with you, actually. I'm taking Morales via sub.
The odds brought to you by Seamus. Morales, the non-COVID fighter, is a minus 170 to a plus 135 over Giga Chikadze. Take it as you will. Next up is a fighter from a country that won. Oh, never mind. I was thinking of a different country. I was about to sound like
That was about to be
supreme
racist.
asshole.
yeah.
Never mind. A fighter from Jordan.
Accidental racism.
Ali Al-Qaisi. Going up against American fighter Tony Kelly. Ali, last time we saw him, lost a split decision to Erwin Rivera, who I think just lost to one of the fighters we just mentioned before. Doesn't matter, though. American fighter Tony Kelly is also coming off a loss to Cal Kamaka III.
Kai, but yeah.
Oh, excuse me, Kai. My eyes just...
Hey, to be fair, I only know that because I've heard it before.
and that makes way more sense.
Yeah.
I think I'm going with Ali Al-Qaisi for no reason at all.
Yeah, I'm not, for two reasons. Number one, Tony Kelly fought Kevin Aguilar in Legacy not that long ago to a split decision, and he fought Kai Kamaka III to a decision. Whereas Ali is fighting in Brave, which Brave is an interesting promotion. And he did lose the split decision to Erwin Rivera. Again, I've not done any tape study, and this is based off of the tiny bit I even remember of these dudes. But I don't know. Anytime I see Wushu as your foundation, I'm a little nervous about you. So I'm gonna take Tony Kelly via probably decision.
Yes, that means I'm
and
probably
also
wrong, but
Tony Kelly out of
it's
Shreveport,
a movie.
Louisiana, and you know me. You know I love me some goddamn Louisiana. My favorite. Louisiana motherfuckers are different, and I love them for it.
So the odds brought to you by Seamus. We got Tony Kelly to minus 250 to plus 194 of Ali Al-Qaisi. Next up, we
I
have...
love that you remember to do the odds brought to you by Seamus thing every week
Always.
because I forget, and I love it every time I hear it.
Always.
Also,
Especially-
let's just go ahead and say this is one of the few fights in the prelims that I think is going to be a lot of fun.
I wouldn't know, but I'll take your word for it. We got a men's middleweight bout between Impa Kasangane.
Nailed it, dude. Nailed it.
Impa Kasangane going up against Joaquin Buckley. Yeah, Impa
Although,
Kasangane.
I wonder if it's Joaquin.
It could be. Okay.
I mean,
was thinking of Joaquin.
It looks... Actually, he's born in Missouri, so it should be
It's
Joaquin.
probably Joaquin. Last time we saw Impa Kasangane UFC Fight Night. Oh, so this is like his second official fight.
Yeah,
He defeated Max Pitolo.
Yeah, he fucked
Coconut
up
bomb.
Yeah, he fucked up coconut bombs in like a very solid win.
I'm already leaning towards him right now, but again, Joaquin Buckley. Oh, he got knocked. Kevin Holland's a badass though.
Dude, and and Kevin Holland is like one of those dudes who will just never make you look good in any way.
No. He's a wild child.
And he had a run in
Very,
LFA of
very,
fucking
very
people up.
creative fighting style.
Oh shit, he had some Bellator fights too.
So I'm going Kasangane via decision.
Me too. I think Joaquin Buckley is definitely somebody that could pose some problems. I don't remember off the top of my head the size difference between these two dudes, but I think there is one. Maybe not.
Kasangane.
No, they're about the same size. Actually, they're almost like they're virtually identical. Now that I look at it, but
Thank you, Mike.
I am okay. Never mind. I was gonna say I thought that Impa Kasangane was fighting out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, but he's just born there. So that's you can't help where you're born. I've been to Fort Lauderdale. I know what that's like.
Molded by it.
Man, Fort Lauderdale is not. That ain't it. Although they do have a great tiki bar. Oh God, what's the name of that place? I can't remember off the top of my head. Oh my God.
This town sucks.
I mean, and to be fair, it's if you Google tiki bar Fort Lauderdale, it's not like you're gonna get 2 results. But it's one of the country's best tiki bars.
Nice.
I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, no, Impa Kasangane all fucking day. It's Impa Kasangane.
Yeah, he's a minus 250 plus 194 over Joaquin Buckley. Good luck to you, Joaquin Buckley. I got Impa Kasangane. Take to this, you will.
It might be Kasangane, actually, but either way.
I think you're right. Next up, we have a Brazilian fighter, Rodrigo Nascimento. I'm saying Italian. I don't know how to really say his name.
I think you got it.
First name. He's a heavyweight going up against American heavyweight Chris Daukaus. I have fucking zero clue, except that I see the Brazilian guys at ATT, so I'm leaning towards him. At least according to Dabology.
But does that mean he had COVID recently? I don't mean to keep bringing this up, but really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Contender Series dude out of ATT. Yeah, man, I've seen this dude fight. This is another one of those cases where I've seen this dude fight twice, and I have zero recollection of him. And I've definitely seen Daukaus fight at least once, and I have zero recollection of him. I don't know. Daukaus knocked out a dude, and this is heavyweight, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'll go with Daukaus. I mean, I don't know. Can Daukaus wrestle? Here's the question: how many sub losses does he have? 1. All right, I'll go Daukaus.
I can definitely tell the odds. We got the Brazilian who I'm going with. He's at a minus 265.
Oh, that's a bad pick for me then. I mean, it's heavyweight, so I don't. To be honest, I don't.
I like this next fight though, kind of. I know one of the fighters. We got British fighter, specifically Englishman, Tom Breeze, going up against Canadian fighter KP Ballard,
who I believe is Arjan Boular's relative. I believe.
I think you're correct.
Because Canadian.
Excuse me, Tom Breeze is from Birmingham, England. Last time we saw him, oh, never mind. He was a grappling bout. He lost to Freddie Vosgrone. His official fight, he lost to Brendan Allen, ground and pound at the end of the first round. Terrible loss as far as luck. Don't want to lose the last 13 seconds for the round. Anyways, for me to be serious now, his opponent, KB Ballard, Bengal, has a shitload of canceled bouts. Hopefully it doesn't mean he has health issues. I hope not.
Maybe he's not related to Arjan Boular. Or at least they're not.
Maybe we're just racist.
I think he's related to Kenny Boular.
To be fair, I think Arjan Boular is actually Canadian.
No, they're all Canadian. That's what I'm confused.
All right, well,
are they all out of our... All right, here, let me just see if he's out of... Keep talking.
I like Tom Breeze in this, but that's because I've heard of Tom Breeze and I've really heard of Katie Ballard, if I'm being honest.
I'm just getting more and more confused the more I look at this. No, okay, he's from a totally different part of Canada. They're from Edmonton. He's from Richmond.
Whoa.
By way of...
Somebody rapping at my door.
I don't think they're related. They're fighting at different gyms. I don't think they're related. I just assumed because they're big boys from Canada with the last name Boular. How many of those are there? I guess more than
Remember I told
2.
you right around 7:35 I hear a ruckus?
Oh, yeah. Is there a ruckus happening?
Yeah, someone's scratching my door pretty loud. It's pretty great.
All right. Well, yeah, Tom Breeze. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm going... Nah, you know what? The other dude can wrestle, right? If the other dude can wrestle, I'm taking him.
If he's related to Arjan Boular, then Tom Breeze is fucked.
Oh, okay. I'm not... Nope. I'm taking Tom Breeze as well.
No disrespect to Boular.
Yeah, I got Tom Breeze by decision.
Brought to you by Sheamus. You get a minus 256 for Breeze and for plus 208 to Boular.
Yeah.
Next up we have the return of the Moroccan Devil, Yusuf Zalal, going up against Georgian fighter Ilia Tupuria.
Yeah.
who kind of looks like Georgian Ian McCall.
Yeah, actually, in that picture, at least on Tapology, he does for sure. Also, shouts out to him for getting a win over Luis Jacob. Oh wait, no, just Luis Gomez.
What was that? Say it one
Oh,
more time.
sorry, Ilya. His shouts out to him for getting a win over not Luis J. Gomez, but Luis Gomez.
Oh, yeah.
Equally impressive. I mean, Luis Gomez was
Checks
0-0, so it's
He's
literally the same as Luis J. Gomez.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Funny 'cause why does he spell his name like Luis? But whatever, I'm not going to judge.
Yeah, well, and also he's fucking Puerto Rican, so how is it Luis?
And he's a rattlesnake,
Yeah.
so it's clearly it's Luis J. Gomez. But he
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
want it.
But also, it's Luis Hey Gomez, right?
Yes. Yeah. No, it's Luis Jota Gomez.
Is that what J is in Spanish?
Yes, it's Jota.
Is it Jota?
Swear to God.
Really? ABC de afa hey Jota?
Yep.
Fucking Jesus! How did I not remember? I guess I never say the J. I can stop it.
I swear to God, J in Spanish is Jota. All right.
Anyway, that's
Not
hilarious.
Hoto. That's a big distinction.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. It's like the difference between tengo hombre and tengo hombre. They're two very different things.
Yes. Very
100%. Yeah. You gotta be very careful with that. All right, so yeah, no, we both have Yusuf's Law by far in this, right? Like it's not even close.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I
That's
haven't,
kind of my decision.
I haven't seen shit from dude, and he is out of Georgia, so who knows? But yeah.
Yeah. I think I told you the odds already. Let me say it one more time. Yeah, we got Yusuf. Oh shit, I thought I saw a spider in my. I'm tripping out. Okay, we saw Yusuf at a minus 164 to plus 136.
Okay, actually, that's way closer than I thought it would have been. So I guess, dude,
Next
it's
up,
pretty
we
impressive.
have a heavyweight bout between Englishman Tom Aspinall versus Frenchman Alan Badeau.
Man, we really could have skipped this card.
All right, I have, and I mean that's just right now. I'm just gonna make a pick.
Yep.
Tom Aspinall by decision.
Yeah, I mean, he has a UFC fight, and the other dude,
Bad.
he has a
Tom Aspinall. Oh, okay, let me tell you the fucking odds. Holy shit.
Hold on.
Fuck.
So Tom Aspinall is gonna win because he has a UFC fight, and the other dude
Yes.
is
And
called.
Can I tell you the odds? You're like, wow. If you pick Alan Badeau, you have money to burn. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, yeah. If you look at the promotions he's fought
Listen
out
to
of,
this. The odds brought to you by Seamus. Seamus says Tom Aspinall is at a minus 650 to a plus 430. So
although I would like to say Alan Badeau, you do need to put some respect on his name because he did fight out of the legendary. I'm not gonna say. I've never heard this said out loud. I've only ever read it. Gunryujima, the fucking moat fighting. Goddamn, have you seen the moat fighting? Oh shit, Chris. Okay, we have a commentary coming up for moat fighting, so look forward to that. We'll definitely watch Tom Aspinall epone a motherfucker out the ring into the moat. We'll definitely watch that. I guess it's
all right.
epon. But, yeah.
Next up, we have the Heath Ledger Joker, Marcus Perez himself,
Boo.
going up against South African fighter Dricus du Plessis.
Yeah, dude. People are high on Dricus.
I'm going with Dricus du Plessis, mostly because the last time Marcus Perez, which is last year, did his Joker shit a year ago during Halloween, he got his ass kicked. So, this makes no sense, but I'm going with the South African kickboxer.
I mean, to be fair, dude, people are really high on Duplessis. I haven't seen a ton of his footage, but I think I've seen at least one or. I don't remember if I saw both the Soldic fights, but I definitely
and
saw
I'll
the
give you a
Soldic, but I
spoiler.
never saw
I am
one of
not
them.
previewing the next fight, but I will preview the coming in man. I'll just tell you right now. Let me give you the because it's like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no.
The odds for
that
Marcus
next fight
Perez and the
is.
South African are actually closer than you think. Perez a plus 131 to a minus 165. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have Dricus just because I don't know what to make
and
Perez.
Marcin Tybura should beat Ben Rothwell. But
Oh,
that's-
what? Oh, what? Are you kidding me? You think
No.
Ben Rothwell is gonna win this decision, and he's gonna dick kick
Oh, so is
Tybura
he
twice?
still on the roids?
No, but it's because Tybura can't out wrestle him, so Tybura's fucked.
Oh, God, I forgot. Ben Rothwell's really going to clinch. Yeah.
Well, and also I just think Tybura if Tybura gets Rothwell down, he's gonna burn so much energy trying to do it.
Oh, that's kind of what he does, huh?
Yeah, I really think
Oh,
Rothwell is
fuck,
gonna,
right.
and
Just
also
telling you, that's,
over under on the amount of times Rothwell kicks him in the dick. Not 0.
All right, well, I got this fight as Rothwell shitty decision. The odds
Same.
brought to you by Seamus. Rothwell's a minus 155 to plus 124.
That's about where I would put it.
This next fight,
I have Edson Barboza
I got Edson Barboza by violent knockout.
Yeah,
Mark Bonnie's a tough motherfucker, but
for about. He's super tough for about 4.5 minutes.
yep.
And
then,
unless
I'll
he gets a
give you
sub in
odds.
unless he gets a sub in those 4.5 minutes, I think he's fucked.
You got Barboza's at a minus 285 to a plus 218. So take that as you will. Thank you, Seamus. And then the main event.
Dude, this is a great fight.
Title eliminator, great fight between Marlon Moraes, One Punch Man, Krillin, whatever you want to call him, versus Cory Sandhagen, a.k.a. I'm a better version of Dominic Cruz.
Yeah, a.k.a. 6-foot Dom Cruz.
A.k.a. my legs are going to get snapped in half.
Yeah, a.k.a. hopefully
AKA
not
I
future
have
Corey
Marlon
Hill.
Moraes in this fight.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I got Marlon Moraes the whole way.
Oh, how so? Just to know that,
Leg kicks, and
Yeah.
it's basically like saying, oh wait, I can't move. Also known as everyone knows how to beat Dom Cruz because look what Cejudo did to him. He'd leg kick the fuck out of him. Anyone that moves, you're gonna just have to negate how they move.
yeah, that's the kind of the big problem I keep having it with it too. Is like Cory Sandhagen works so much behind a jab and keeps his right hand so low that that is a goddamn terrible style matchup against Moraes. However, if he can make it 7 minutes, yeah, I think if he makes it 7 minutes in this fight, though, I think he wins the decision.
Oh, he can guess how Moraes.
Yeah, but it's a matter of how much damage he takes.
Oh, can he stay the fuck away?
Well, that's the problem is he stays outside of punching range, but he doesn't stay outside of kicking range. And like he did a decent job checking kicks against who was it? Sun Sao, but Sun Sao is a different kind of kicker than Marlon Moraes is.
Yep.
And also Marlon Moraes, is going to be looking for that switch left kick, especially since Corey keeps his right hand so low, or just both hands low in general. I mean, he does a really good job at tucking his shin behind his shoulder, and like slipping out, just staying out of range just barely. But shit, with a dude like Marlon Moraes, and worst case, I think even if he doesn't start landing head kicks, I think the body and legs it's gonna be hard for Corey to consistently defend kicks from the outside for as long as he will need to without taking major damage. So, yeah, man, I'm gonna take Moraes, but I think we'll know about 3 minutes into this fight who's gonna win. Because if Cory Sandhagen doesn't start turning things around about 3 minutes in or so, or like at least has an answer for some of the kicking game of Moraes, I think it's gonna start really going badly really quickly.
Yeah.
So we're both taking Moraes on that then?
Yep, and let me tell you the odds. Oh wow, I'm actually surprised. Okay.
It's probably closer.
Sandhagen
Yeah.
is the favorite at
Is
a
he?
minus 145 to a plus 115.
Whoa, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. I mean, to be fair though, yeah. Like if he can withstand a barrage from Moraes, I think he absolutely is in a position to win this. I just don't trust him to not eat brutal leg kicks early.
Yeah.
And body kicks, to be fair, because Moraes' switch kick to the body and to the head is nasty.
Anyways, that's all I got.
Perfect. Well, we will go ahead and wrap this here. But as always, you guys can find links to all the stuff we mentioned in the description for the episode. If you're listening on a podcast player, or if you are, if you go to thesoundofviolence.com, the link for the episode will have, or if you look in the description, it should have a link for the episode. And all that will have all of the show notes of everything we talked about, as well as links to all the shows we talked about. So please go give them some love. And yeah, man, we're happy to have you guys. If you're in California, maybe pick up some Alien Labs extracts or flour. I know they have some interesting connections with Connected. That strain, and I still don't quite understand that relationship. But I will say, any dude who is making dope resin and flour in California owns one of the most notoriously good, notorious. It's pricey, but it's pricey because it's crazy fire. So if you're one of those dudes and you're shouting out Izzy Adesanya and Naruto and fucking auto chess games, I'm going to go ahead and say you're dope. So, shouts out to that, and go pick up some Alien Lab shit. Chris, anything else you want to shout out before we get out of here? Other than pumpkins?
Enjoy the fights tomorrow. I know it's kind of, I think it's a solid card overall. Some decent fights mixed in. But yeah, all I'll say is enjoy the card.
Some fun matchups for sure.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, we will go ahead and get out of here.
And also, remember, as a reminder, don't believe Dana's lies.
Oh yeah, for sure. Don't or the Irish sports star. You can go ahead and you can just pro tip. You can ignore both of them. You can ignore Ariel also, and you'll still get all the news. I've honestly considered muting all three of them, but probably can't just for the show purposes. But I don't think we missed much. So on that note, we will be out of here. But yeah, hit us up. Let us know what MMA podcast you're listening to. We're always looking for recommendations, and we will be back next week. Chris, you have any idea what card it is next week? It's dope, I think. It's a really good matchup.
Next week is the 17th. I believe it is Korean Zombie.
Yeah, that's a great card. Hopefully,
spoiler alert: go Korean Zombie because fuck Brian Ortega.
Wait, who does Brian Ortega train with?
Trains at Henry Gracie, but my point is he's a fake ass motherfucker. He talks about how hard he is, and then he slaps the fuck out of Jay Park when Korean Zombie gets up to go to the bathroom. I'm sorry, you lose all credibility to me. You're pulling some pussy ass shit like that. I hope you get your ass beat. That's if you ask me, honestly.
Well, and also just.
And I also think Korean Zombie is gonna whoop shit out of him.
Well, and also just.
I think he's gonna make it look pretty easy too. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying for a while, Korean Zombie has the only fight he's lost in recent memory definitively was the one where he was winning fucking all of it until 1 second.
Like 24 minutes.
And like 59 or however many seconds. Hey, credit
to Rodriguez.
I mean, yeah, I guess, but like also, fuck, did that ruin that division? Oh God!
Not really though, because remember Rodriguez got hurt, so this is why.
I mean, and to be fair, Cejudo ruined that division for a while. So
Cejudo?
Oh, they're 45ers. What am I saying?
145. Cejudo's trying.
Oh no! Well,
no, Cejudo's trying to act like we're in a division, but Volkanovski's like, get out of here, you.
Well, that and the fucking we have to have Max and Volkanovski fight till the end of time shit that they're doing with that division. You know what? Conor ruined that division. Is really what happened. It's just never been okay since then. So, anyway, we will wrap this here. Chris, go enjoy your pumpkin carving. Everybody out there, go smoke some weed. You know what?
I'm going to enjoy drinking and smoking more than anything. That'll make their pumpkin carving fun, and if I'm honest.
I was going to say that, too. I've been drinking a little bit less. I've been smoking fuckloads more weed, and it's been great. Oh, shit. Nice. I forgot to tell you guys. Look, I got the dumbest shit today. I bought a fucking battery for an e-cigarette, for like a vape cartridge. It's a fucking dumb fake pipe thing. It looks like a fucking pipe.
I'd be stoked for you if I could see what you're talking about.
It's stupid as shit, Chris. Imagine if I was to be an old dude smoking a pipe, but there's a vape cartridge sticking out of it instead of the stem.
Okay, that's actually really lame. I'm sorry. I'd rather you be smoking a real pipe.
It's the dumbest shit, and I'm here for it.
But enjoy.
Yeah. Well, I've been dabbing out of wave cups, so really, we're off the rails. But all right, guys. Well, on that note, we were out of here, but we'll see y'all next week. And until then, go do something decadent. We out. Hey.
Liked by the sound of violence.